Great morning, great morning, great morning. You guys come on in, come on in. Come on in. Oh, let me turn on my do not. Come on in, you guys. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Come on, come on. Great morning. Great morning, great morning. Go ahead and share the broadcast. Go ahead and share the broadcast. Micah, you'll bring me a bottle of water, please. It's next to the freezer in the kitchen. Let me know who's here and where you're tuning in from. Who's here and where are you tuning in from? Oh, I'm excited for this word right here, honey. This one of them words you like, oh, that's the key, huh? Ooh, goodness. So y'all let me know who's here and where you are tuning in from. And go ahead and share the broadcast. Once you shared, let me know that you shared. Once you've shared, let me know that you shared. Let me do this too. Hold on, y'all. Y'all know the Wi-Fi. I'm back. I'm back in North Carolina. Throw your hands up. Hold on. Great morning. Great morning. You all go ahead. How you doing, Catherine? Go ahead and share the broadcast. Let me know who's here. Share the broadcast and let me know who's here. I had to switch over from the Wi-Fi to just the cellular service. Now, even that may be a little spotty, y'all. Y'all know I'm in the country. I'm deep in the country, way back in the country. Where is it? Y'all, I'm struggling a little bit this morning. Hey, gorgeous. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Listen, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for everyone who said happy birthday to my daddy on the post, on the reel, on my story, and last night on our Zoom. We had a Zoom last night where we celebrated his life, amazing man that he is. Y'all listen, on the flyer, I put the man, the myth, the legend, an Oscar party. Because you know my dad is always like, well, you know, you got an Oscar for daddy. That's our running thing. That is our running thing. Great, great morning, everyone. Super excited to see you guys. Super excited to see you guys and to see what God is doing in this season of our lives. Hold on, y'all. Oh. All right. Listen, I wanted to tell you guys that look, obedience leads to manifested miracles. Obedience leads to manifested miracles. You know, I was thinking about my journey and how all along the way I had to make decisions about whether or not to be obedient, to be or not to be or not to be obedient, to be or not to be faithful, to be or not to be consistent, to be or not to be, right? So God wants to know, what are you going to be? To be or not to be love, right? What are you going to be? Hey, daddy. Daddy said to my beautiful daughter, thanks to my family and all my daughters, love you all. Daddy love us, y'all. Listen, listen. We might have did a little something last night. Yes, Kim, consistent, consistent. Let me tell you what consistency does. Consistency builds a pattern. You know, our lives, our spirits, our bodies, our minds, there's this thing called muscle memory, right? Where you just remember, you're so accustomed to doing something that it becomes automatic. It becomes something that you just naturally do. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to figure it out. Like all you have to do is show up and like you just automatically know, bam, this is what I do. Now, the key is, listen, it works both ways. It works for the positive and the negative, for the good and the bad, right? So we remember, our body remembers, our emotions remember, our spirits remember what we are accustomed to. So whatever we get accustomed to, whatever we do consistently, we run the risk of it becoming our default setting. In our lives, we have a default setting, and our default setting is not always work for our good. Our default setting usually works against us. Our default setting is that because it is designed to try to protect us from the world, to keep us from getting hurt. But what it does is it closes us off, it shuts us down, and it prevents us from experiencing all that God has in store for us. So one of the things that I have had to work on is what's my default? Is my default negative? If your default is negative, chances are you have spent your life trying to protect yourself from getting hurt. You figure, if I protect myself, you know, I don't have to worry about anybody else. But the reality is it doesn't work. So even when you look at your life, when you've operated in that default, like it doesn't work. It doesn't produce the life that you desire. Producing the life that you desire requires you to not operate in default mode. Producing the life that you desire requires for you to operate in obedience. Like that's just it. That's the given. That's where you have to get to. You see, Jesus knew that Judas was going to betray him. He knew that the disciples were going to run away, all except for John, right? He knew. He knew what was going to happen and loved them anyway. Loved them consistently, loved them wholly and fully, loved them with agape love, unconditional love. We tend not to operate like that. We love when we feel like love is going to come back the way we want it to come back. That's not God's love. God's love means that you lay it on the line. You lay it on the line. You open yourself up, you lay it on the line, and you say, okay, God, here am I. Use me, right? Here am I. Let your love through me. Here am I. Whatever the situation, whatever the circumstance, right? Now, doesn't mean that you don't have boundaries. Absolutely, you have boundaries. But what I'm saying is when we get so busy, not establishing boundaries, but establishing walls. And there's a difference between a boundary and a wall. A boundary is more fluid, right? You can adjust it the way you need to adjust it. A wall is a permanent fixture. It is fixed. In other words, when you build a wall, it takes a wrecking ball to knock it down. When you have a boundary, you move it in or out depending on what's necessary. So we spend time building walls instead of establishing boundaries. And we call the wall a boundary. It's not a boundary, it's a barrier. There's a difference between a boundary and a barrier. Barriers are designed to do two things: keep things in and keep things out, right? Barriers are designed to keep things in and keep things out. So when you have a barrier up, you have to totally move the barrier in order to get the things that you want outside of you in. With a boundary, you just move the line. Just move it. Move it out, move it in, move it the way you need to move it. But that means that you've got to deconstruct the barriers that you established, the walls that you've created, the things that you used in order to protect you and keep you. And studying self-sabotage and the saboteurs, one of the big things about our saboteurs is our saboteurs worked for us at one point. They kept us safe in childhood. They allowed us to get to a certain point in our life. But then you reach a point where it no longer is working for you. It's working against you. It's got you trapped in a mindset that keeps you anxious, frustrated, angry, jealous, like all of these negative emotions. Every negative emotion that you experience comes from a saboteur or two or three. It comes from your saboteurs. Every negative emotion. So what does that mean? If you're experiencing a negative emotion, you need to identify the saboteur that's creating that emotion, because it's rooted in thoughts. And they're lies. They're not the truth. but they're your thoughts, your thought patterns. Saboteurs create specific thought patterns that operate in your life. And you think that that's normal. And what I'm telling you is it may be normal, but it's not productive. Why would you continue in a thought pattern that doesn't work for you? Why would you continue in a thought pattern that keeps you stressed out, overwhelmed, frustrated, anxious, you're like angry? Like, why? Why do that to yourself? Like, to me, that's some straight S&M stuff. Sadomasochism. What is sadomasochism? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. That's that mess. Like, why would you intentionally continue in patterns that don't move forward positively? Why? It's self-sabotage. It's you preventing you from having what you say you want. See, this is why, y'all, I'm just going to be real with y'all. Can I be real with y'all today? Because I feel like I just need to be real today. Like, can I just be real? I'm talking about extra real. I'm always real, but can I be extra real with today? Can I be extra real? Real. To my new son, thanks for all the love. Oh, hey, baby. You heard my daddy's love. Oh, y'all let me know if I can just be real with y'all today. Because I want to help some people. I want to set some people free. Y'all know that's my mission, to set people free. We running around in bondage, don't know we in bondage. That's foolishness. How you got bars in front of you and you don't even realize you got bars in front of you? But I'm just trying to understand. Because I believe that if we understand what the key is and we can use the key, if we fail to use the key, we want to stay where we at. We want to stay in bondage. We want to stay broke. We want to stay sick. We want to stay in whatever state we find ourselves. We want to stay there. What you getting out of that? What is that doing for you? Because something is happening. Somebody said, yes, be real. April said, be real. So listen. Okay, y'all ready? Hold on. Let me adjust my chair a little bit. So look, check this out. And my concern is not to say this nicely, but to say it in a way that you feel that. Like you feel it in your gut. Like you feel like, ooh, that's a gut punch, right? So when my boys were growing up, because I was a single mother and I had boys, I was like, oh, y'all not gonna be soft. Y'all will not be running around here soft, talking about, no, y'all will not be doing that, right? So 144, put that in the chat, y'all. So what I used to do, now today they would probably say it's child abuse, but what I used to do is when they would do something, I'd be like, give me your chest. Give me your chest. Oh, but you about to get it. And I'd be like, pow, in the chest. They'd be like, ooh, right? So 2 things happened for us in that situation. And I know y'all saying, oh, that's child abuse. But let me tell you what happened. It taught them that when you do something, you got to be man enough to stand and take your consequences. Got to be man enough to stand and take your consequences. Oh, that's what you choose to do? After I've told you not to do it more than once? Give me your chest. You give me your chest. I ain't finna chase you. I ain't finna run behind you. No, that's what you want to do? Give me your chest. I'm going to stand right here and let you, come on, give it to me. I need you to open it up. Pow. Ooh. Okay. What they learned was that you have to accept consequences for your actions. You got to accept consequences for your actions. See, this is the thing that I think separates me from some other people. And I'm not saying everybody, but I'm just saying, look, whatever I do, I don't care what I do and what the outcome is. I'm standing on it. These are my consequences. Hey, these are the consequences. I'm standing on it. Why? Why do you do that, Dr. V? Because that's what grown folks do. That's what mature folks do. That's what folks who are concerned about let me pause for a second. Because I felt my judge rise up. let me stop my judge real quick. Let me a part of the maturation process is learning to accept responsibility for your actions, for your choices, learning to deal with the consequences of your life. Learning to do that. Like that's it. That's it. Now, if you don't do that, I don't have any judgments for you. But what I do have for you is there's some consequences associated with that when you fail to do that. Like when you don't do that, there are consequences associated with it. So I've made a conscious choice in my life to accept responsibility for my choices. At 17 years old, I understood that. At 17, when I had a full academic scholarship to the University of Kentucky, and in February of that year, I found myself pregnant, I knew I had to make a choice. See, the daddy could do whatever the daddy was going to do, but I had to make a choice that I would be responsible for, I would have to live with, a choice that would be my choice, right? And I was determined it would be my choice. I'm making this choice because I made the other choice. I made the choice to lay down. I'm going to make the choice about what I do, right? And I made a choice, right? I made the choice not to have that baby, right? Was it the best choice? Well, it was the choice that I made, right? Based on my situation, what was going on in my life, I felt like that was my best choice in that situation. But when 2 years later, I found myself pregnant, I could not make that same choice. Why not, Dr. V? You were in school. You still need to get, well, no, listen. The first time I got pregnant, okay, okay, that was an accident, okay? Okay, I'm gonna give you one. This is me. I'm talking about me. Nobody else told me this. I'm not talking about what my parents said to me. I'm talking about what I said to me. There was something in me that said, listen, after I made that first choice and went through that process and experienced that, I said, oh, no, nah, I can't do that again. If I ever get pregnant again, I'm having the baby. That's why now there was no choice for me. There was no choice. It was a choice, but it wasn't a choice. Like, listen, I'm a whole grown woman. If I make a choice, I got to deal with the consequences. What are you talking about? No, there's no choice for me. So similarly, in our lives, we have to get to a point at some time in life where we can own our choices. And sometimes we make choices by default. When we're operating in default, we make choices by default. And you got to deal with that too. You can't 155. So we got 144 and 155. You can't just be doing stuff and not think that there are consequences for every choice that you make. There are consequences. There just are. So why is this so important? Listen, the title of today's live is Obedience Produces Manifested Miracles. Hey, we talking about manifested miracles. Everybody want a miracle. Oh, I need a miracle in my life. I need a miracle for my soul. Listen, you want the miracle, but your behind doesn't want to be obedient. You don't want to do what God tells you to do. And God make things real simple. You know what he says? Love. What? Love. Oh no, God, not that. Love. What? Open up my heart. What? Love. That's what he says. He makes it real simple. All of the commandments can be wrapped up in commandments. That you would love the Lord thy God with all their heart, mind, and soul, and that you would love your neighbor as yourself. Bam, that's it. That covers everything. Murder, that covers adultery, it covers everything. Everything. Because if you love someone, you won't do that to them. Love, it's real simple. We make it complicated because our love is complicated. Our love is complicated, it's convoluted, it's conditional. I love you if this, and I love you if that. I don't love you if this, and I don't love you if that. You know what? Listen, I don't have all that for you. I just love you. Now, whether you love me back or not is irrelevant. That's on you. That's your choice, and that's your prerogative. I'm not going to force myself on you, but I'm still going to love you. I may love you from over here. I may love you from over there. I may love you from down the street, round the corner, somewhere else, but I'm still going to love you. You can't allow other people's responses to you to determine your love. One of the things I love about my daddy, and I love a lot of stuff about my daddy. I'm just going to tell y'all, I love my daddy. My daddy, my hero. When I say the man, the myth, the legend, I mean that 10 toes down, for real, for real. I love my daddy, Oscar Wiggins Jr. Ain't nothing he can do that can get rid of me. Ain't nothing he can do that causes me to not love him. I don't care. I'm going to love that man and he going to love me, right? And so one of the reasons that I love him is when he says things, We say some of the same things. How is it that I'm so much like this man? We think so much alike, but I didn't grow up with him. Like, this been in me. I didn't know where it came from because it didn't always match my surroundings, but it's been in me. It's because he deposited in me when he conceived me. Like, literally, he put certain things in me. I carry his DNA. There are things about my daddy that are just there. And guess what? I ain't ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of it. I am who I am because God created us like that. When we get to the point where we understand God in us is greater than any obstacle, situation, circumstance that we can ever encounter, then it doesn't matter what the circumstance is, and it doesn't matter what the consequences are, because we are built to be able to learn what we need to learn from what happens in our life. If we learn the lesson, our problem is our walls, our barriers prevent us from being able to see clearly to make the necessary adjustments in us. I can't adjust you, but I can adjust me. I can't change you, but I can change me. If I don't like a circumstance, if I don't like a consequence, if I don't like an outcome, I can change it. If I don't like how I feel, I can change that. I can change that. Listen, you got to know that you have the authority to change how you feel even. Anything that happens, you don't have to feel a certain way. You can choose not to feel like that. You can choose it. Not to say you won't have thoughts, not to say you won't have emotions, but you don't have to stay where that is not conducive to your well-being, conducive to your joy, conducive to your happiness, conducive to your success. You can change that. Change it if you want to. And if you don't want to, don't complain about it. Why are you complaining about something that you have the ability to change, but you won't change it? Because we tend to not like to take responsibility for those emotions or for our or for our circumstances. We won't do that. Oh, life is just happening to me. Life does happen. And it's not whether or not life happens to you. Life is going to happen. It is. Like that, that's a given. Life is going to happen. It's not whether or not life happens to you. It's what you do with what happens to you in your life. It's what you do, because really life is not happening to you. It's happening for you. But see, that's a whole nother conversation. We don't even want to look at that. We don't want to think about that. As life is happening for us, it's always designed to move us to a certain place, to get us to a certain situation, a certain identity, a certain lesson. There's a place that God is trying to get us. So He'll allow it to us the way it needs to happen to get us to where He needs to be, to where we need to be. So when life keeps happening to you and the same thing keeps happening over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, you got to ask yourself, God, what are you trying to teach me? See, I didn't accidentally end up married 5 times and divorced 5 times. There were some things that God was trying to teach me. I'm a little hard-headed. I'm an experiential learner. Sometimes I just got to learn by doing, okay? So I had to go through what I went through. Now, to other people, they'll be like, oh, that's too much. Why don't you just give up? Why don't you give up on love? Give up on marriage? I'm not giving up on that. That wasn't the problem. The institution wasn't the problem. Love wasn't the problem. The problem was there were things in me that God was working out. There were things that He was showing me, things that He was teaching me about love, loving myself and loving others. See, it's the obedience part. It's the obedience part. God requires radical obedience, and that obedience produces manifested miracles. You sitting up trying to figure everything out in your head. While you're trying to figure it out in your head, you're missing what He's doing in your emotions. You're so logical, you're so analytical, you're so rational. That hyper rational is a dangerous saboteur, because you'll rationalize yourself out of blessings. You'll rationalize yourself out of obedience. You'll rationalize yourself out of joy. You'll rationalize yourself out of being open and removing barriers to create boundaries. You'll rationalize yourself out of all of that. And then you'll wonder why you're miserable and stuck. You don't have to be miserable and stuck. You're choosing that because you've rationalized your way out of the promise. It's probably why people look at me and like, she's crazy. Like, she's crazy. Like, who's doing that? Well, you're crazy. Or what you see is crazy. It's me taking my journey. And I've learned that I don't apologize for my journey. I don't care who you are. I'm not apologizing for my journey. My journey has been necessary for me. If you look at my journey and you're like, it's too much for you, it's overwhelming to you, I do too much, I go through too much. Hey, that's fine. I get it. But it's not your journey. So really, what difference does it make? It's my journey. So as I'm taking my journey and my journey looks crazy and people make commentary about the craziness of my journey, listen, I ain't mad about my journey because do you know what my journey has produced in my life? Let me share with you what my journey, I know for y'all may looking like, I don't care about that because let me tell you what it produced. It produced me being open enough to find my biological father. It produced me being open enough to move, to live with my biological father so that we can have some time together to develop that bond, right? To really get to know each other, to love on each other, right? It produced me getting to know my aunt and my cousins, my siblings and my nephews and nieces. Like it produced that. I ain't mad at that. Now, listen, I'm telling you, ain't nobody in my family got to ever like me. Nobody. Hope they do, but if they don't, it's fine. Because I'm going to love all of them anyway. I'm going to love the hell out of them. Love the hell out. And it doesn't matter which side. It doesn't matter. My daughter and I were talking this morning, and we were talking about one of my many daughters. I have been that person who people have always come to. People come into our lives. They come into our home. I make a space for people. I believe in that. I got that from my family. We're big on that. We're big on family. We're big on welcoming people in, right? And so one of my daughters, she was like, listen, she just sent some money for the kids for their shoes. Now, she is not my biological daughter, but baby, let me tell you something. I'm that girl's mama. She called me mama, and that love provided her with a safe space to grow, to mature, to learn some different things. Because when she came to me, girl, what is you doing? That is not okay. What is you doing? Put that stuff back in that store, girl. What is you doing? Don't do that. And don't do it when you're with me for sure, right? Because she always had to provide for herself. So she provided for herself by any means. That's I said, baby, that's not what we do. We don't do that. There's some things we don't do. We don't do that, okay? So if you need something and you don't have the money for it, ask me. Don't, we're not doing five fingers. We're not doing five fingers. We're not doing that. Ask me. If I've got it, you can get it. See, those kind of relationships and that kind of love automatically yields back. It comes back to you. It comes back to you. If you're wondering why your life is loveless, it's because your arse behind don't give genuine love. You're not giving it. You're not fully open to it. And so if you're not fully open to it, to give it, you're not going to be able to receive it. I told you guys the other day, I expect good things to happen to me. I expect favor. I expect God to move. I expect God to show up. I expect him to do that. And do you know how he shows up? Through people? Through people. God don't say, oh, thing. Oh, there it is. No, that's not how he works. He uses people. And if you're not the person who's willing to be used, you think he finna use other people just to be blessing. You got to understand that we are created to be a blessing and to be blessed. We're created to be a blessing and to be blessed. God knows, and he knows exactly when you need what, when you need a blessing to encourage you, when you need a blessing to inspire you, when you need a blessing to know that you're on the right track and you're doing what it is that God has called you to do. But when we fail to obey God, when we fail, and listen, we get okay. So let me talk about Disobedience. Disobedience. We think that obedience is just not doing this or not doing that. Listen, God is so much more concerned about your heart than your right. Let me say that again for the people all the way in the back who have been in church all their lives and have been told, you got to do this, do this, do, don't, right? It creates an attitude of works. You feel like you got to work for everything. You got to work for love. You got to work for recognition. You got to work for approval. You got to work. Well, guess what? You can't work your way into righteousness. Righteousness is a gift from God. He puts us in right standing. I'm not saying just wild out, but I'm just telling y'all, it ain't about your works. It's about his grace and his mercy that puts us in right standing. But we're so concerned about not doing wrong, or I can't step over here, but our hearts are jacked up. Our minds are jacked up. We don't have the mind of God or the heart of God. See, the reason why God used the people that he used, 166, 144, 155, 166. Yes, Angel, we are created to be a blessing and to be blessed. So the reason, listen to me, I really want y'all to get this, because this is the key to getting to the manifested miracles, right? The reason that God chose the people that he chose to use in major ways in the Bible was not because they did everything right. In fact, they didn't. They didn't. But what they did do is they had the heart of God. They had the heart of God. Even if their choices were not, even if they messed up, even if they made some wrong moves. Listen, consciously made wrong moves. I'm not talking about, oh, I accidentally made it. No, consciously made wrong moves. They had a heart like God's. Their heart was after God's own heart. God is concerned about your heart condition. What's going on with your heart? What's happening with your heart? Check your heart. Obedience produces manifested miracles. And I'm going to tell y'all this. Today is a miracle day. 177. Y'all, listen, today is a miracle day. Look at. Okay, God. Okay, I see you. Today is a miracle day. I want you to know today is a miracle day. It's your day to make a choice to do what it is that God would have you to do so that you can tap into the manifested miracles. And it requires obedience. Obedience. God is not a man that he should lie. Let me tell you something. When he says his word will not return void, but it will accomplish everything that it is sent forth to accomplish, he means that. He ain't just talking. God ain't just talking. He ain't got time for that. He means that. That means that we have to choose obedience. The word of God says that obedience is better than sacrifice. How many of you have found yourself where God told you to do something and you weren't obedient, but you sacrificed? You said, well, God, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to do this. How many of y'all? Who's found themselves in that place where they chose to sacrifice instead of really obey God? Anybody? I know I have. I know that I have chosen to sacrifice rather than to obey God. And it's why I'm so determined now to obey him. Somebody said, me, right. So if that's the case, what did your sacrifice yield? You think your sacrifice yielded what your obedience would have yielded? 188. Y'all, God, let me tell y'all something about this God that I serve. I'm talking about the God that I serve. I don't know if y'all serve him or not, but this God that I serve. 144, 155, 166, 177, 188. He ain't saying nothing. Them numbers just it's random. No, it ain't random. It ain't random. Ain't nothing random about it. It is not random. So I'm going to start at the beginning and I'm going to run my way through, because I need y'all to understand that God desires to produce a miracle in your life, and he's not playing with you. He's not playing about the miracle that he wants to produce. He's serious about it, but he's also serious about your obedience. And when I tell you that obedience is better than sacrifice, I need you to hear me, because in this season, it is the thing that separates those who experience manifestation from those who don't. It separates those who experience manifestation from those who don't. So let me let me get to it, and I'm gonna tell y'all about 144. My God. If you haven't shared this broadcast, share this broadcast, because there's some people that need to hear what I'm getting ready to say about this sequence of numbers. The sequence of numbers is significant, and the fact that they have shown up in a sequence is also significant. Everything that you've gone through has been a part of your process to get you to a place of promise, a place that God has prepared for you, a place that he's already determined before you were conceived. You know, already before you were conceived, he already established where he was going to take you. He already established where you were going to be on this day, that you would be on this live, that you would hear this message, that I would say what I'm getting ready to say. And this is not necessarily what I wanted to say today, but it's what God has me saying. Why does he have me saying it? Because his people need to understand how he's moving and the power of his confirmation in what he's doing. So 144. Let me start with 144. All right. 144 brings a message from your angels that you are to look to new ways to go about getting your work done more efficiently. Listen to your intuition as your angels are ushering positive energies toward you and around you. Angel number 144 is a message to keep your thoughts positive and optimistic. What I tell y'all, positive vibes only. As you undertake an important new role or venture, your positive energies, intentions, and actions will manifest your expected results. Obedience, Obedient results in, brings manifested miracles. Listen, trust your angels to deliver all that you'll need. Angel number 144 encourages you to keep striving ahead and don't take no for an answer. Expect miraculous answers and solutions to appear as you need them. Expect them. We're not talking about the expectation, and we're not talking about the miracles. I'm just telling y'all. I'm just telling y'all. I'm just telling y'all what I'm telling y'all. Y'all can hear it or not hear it. It's your prerogative, and you can do with it what you choose. But as for me, I'm finna follow God on this. I'm finna follow God. Okay, 144. Okay, 155. I've read all about these numbers and I'm blown away. They line up with what you have been saying this morning. Listen, look, so y'all stay with me. Don't go nowhere because you'll miss it. Okay. So 155. Baby. Number 155 promotes the freedom to live your divine life purpose and fully serve your soul mission. Do not allow others to deter or hinder you in any way once you have made your final choice or decision. Well, we talk about making decisions, right? Making decisions, dealing with your consequences, okay? Whatever the decision is that you make. You know your true heart's desire and soul calling. Listen to your own intuition and look to new directions and opportunities with an open mind and optimism. Angel number 155 suggests that you deserve some positive changes to take place, and you deserve them, okay? Have the courage to be true to yourself and your life passions and purpose. Angel number 155 is a message to take charge of your own life. What I tell y'all, I told y'all, you can't control nobody but you. Do things your own way and make positive life changes to benefit yourself and those around you. Although you may fear the unknown, your angels ask that you trust that these changes will be to your long-term benefit and advantage. Positive and optimistic about these impending changes, and you will find that they will all go smoothly. Angel number 155 suggests that the timing is right for a new venture, project, and or direction. A happy outcome and result follows your positive expectation. Okay, all right, just 155. Okay, y'all have 144, 155. Okay, now let's go to 166. I can't make this up. I can't. I'm telling y'all, I can't make this up. 166. Okay. Angel number 166. Let me say what I'm going to say. Angel number 166 is a message from your angels to keep your thoughts heavenward and positive. It is a message of love, home, family, and beauty. It is a reminder from your angels to maintain positive expectations and speak, think, and act only in the most positive and practical of ways. Look upon all aspects of your life with optimism and hold high expectations, and you will find that all issues will be resolved and solutions found. Your attitude determines your life, and you create your own reality. So choose your thoughts, words, and actions wisely. Angel number 166 um says to let go, to keep your thoughts heavenward and positive, and to let go of material matters or concerns. The focus is on emotions, family issues, the home environment, and you as a person. New energies will be entering your life, which will lead to renewed enthusiasm. The angels are sending you positive energy and balance so that you are able to stay focused on your path. Angel number 166 is a message to let go and release any material concerns or worries and focus on your true desires, passions, and life purpose. With a positive mindset, expect abundance to enter your material world, which will permeate through the other realms of your life. Angel number 166 encourages diplomacy, negotiation, compassion, and cooperation. To heal a negative situation, view the other side of the situation with open eyes and an open heart. That's 166. That's 166. Okay, y'all heard that, right? Okay. Because we had 177 and 188. Amen. Rob, hey, Catherine. Great morning, Apostle. Okay, so angel number 177. I want y'all to see how God used these numbers to align with what his word is saying, what he's saying. Listen, it's not random. God is not random. I don't know why we can't figure out God is not random. It's extremely systematic. He systematically created this entire universe. He systematically created us. He systematically, listen, and he is precise and exercises precision. 177, angel number 177 is a message that you are doing a great job and are to be commended for your intentions, efforts, and actions. You're on the right path in your life. You have chosen your thoughts and actions well, and the angels encourage you to continue in this matter. Don't get weary in well doing, for in due season you shall reap if you faint not. Huh. Angel number 177 suggests that you may be experiencing good fortune that will lead to the manifestation of your heart's desires, and your determination and efforts will be rewarded. You are reminded that having an attitude of gratitude will speed the process of your manifestations. So remember to be grateful for all that the universe provides. And we know that God created the universe. And so when I say universe, that's God. God, okay, period. Angel number 177 also suggests that you have an important soul mission and life purpose. You have an important soul mission and life purpose that involves communicating, teaching, and healing others and serving humanity. You are to set a positive example for others and inspire them to seek their own passion and purpose. Choose to think, say, and act with the highest of intentions and expectations, and shed your beautiful light to illuminate and enlighten others. Do not allow any insecurities, because that's what hinders us, insecurities. Do not allow any insecurities to hinder or hold you back from fulfilling your destiny. Angel number 177 is a very positive sign and tells you to expect miracles. I'm finna stop. Can I stop right there? Because listen, what is this? Obedience leads to manifested miracles. Do y'all hear what I'm telling y'all? God wants us to experience miracles in our lives. What are you doing? We do not have to settle for average, mediocrity. Okay, that was a new word that my sister was talking about. Oh, I learned a new word, mediocrity. We don't have to settle for that. God wants us to expect miracles. I expect miracles everywhere I go. Baby, I'm a miracle walking. I'm a walking miracle, and I bring miracles with me. I'm expecting miracles to show up. Miracle money, miracle healing, miracle restoration, miracle redemption. All kinds of miracles happen around me. Why? Because I am a miracle. I am a miracle. I am a child of a miracle. Okay. All right. That's 177. Okay. Y'all ready? 188. Y'all share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. God is always God. God created the universe, uses the universe. I'm telling you, when I read universe, I read God because he created the universe, just like he created me. Thank you, baby. Thank you so much, Apostle. I appreciate that. 188. Let me see. I'm going to get there. Hold on. 188. All right. 188. Angel number 188 is an uplifting message of encouragement from your angels. Your positive affirmations, thoughts, beliefs, and visualizations have manifested in an increased flow of monetary abundance. Enjoy your rewards of prosperity and be grateful and appreciative of them so that the supply continues. As you receive more, so you can give more. Didn't we just talk about this the other day? I talked about why I was determined to make my first million. And abundance, because I know that I want to help a lot of people. Okay. All right. Okay. Angel number 188 is a powerful message telling of achievements, success, striving forward, progress, and attainment. It is a message to stay optimistic and listen to your intuition and inner guidance as you hold positive expectation and thoughts of abundance. Expect an increase in your finances. Angel number 188 suggests that you keep your finances in check to ensure that you have set solid foundations for yourself and your loved ones, as this will ensure your future prosperity. You are to be responsible for your own income, abundance, and well-being. That's nobody else's responsibility. The universe and your angels will always support you, but it is your responsibility to ensure that you put in the appropriate work and effort. You are asked to live up to your full potential. You will only know that you can do something once you try. Listen, right, Angel? Do you know the power of that? The ability to see a cause that you want to support, right? A kingdom work that you want to produce, and to be able to say, hey, I'm getting ready to give you $1 million for that. Don't even worry about it. I got $1 million on it. Do you all know what happens when we have that kind of financial prowess? Yes, the world can use that financial prowess for a number of things, but what we use it for ought to reflect God. It ought to reflect God's spirit, his nature, his being. When you understand, because number 8 is significant, period. The number 8 is significant, period. The number 8 resonates with your personal power and authority, self-confidence and self-sufficiency, good judgment, inner wisdom, truth and integrity, dependability, self-reliance, and manifesting wealth and abundance, and the universal spiritual law of cause and effect. Obedience leads to manifested miracles, cause and effect. Well, how did you get those? How did you manifest those miracles? I was obedient to God. Obedience. You cannot erase God's universal spiritual laws. You cannot. So you can try it if you want, but you can't. Similarly, the law of sowing and reaping. Look, we miss the mark on a lot of things, but we do not have to. God wants us to understand what is the formula to get here. And in everything that God does, there is a formula. Now, it may not be you put 1/3 faith and 1/4 belief. Like, no, may not be like that. but there are things that definitely must be in the equation in order for other things to come. So listen, this is a season for manifesting miracles. This is a season for you to tap in and allow God to show you how to get to where you want to go. Now, you can miss it if you want to. You can choose to act like, oh, I got it all figured out, but you still broke, sick, struggling. But you got it all figured out. If you got it all figured out, why your life don't look better? If you got it all figured out. Now, granted, we have processes that we go through. And that's another part of the journey. There are processes that you have to go through. You have to understand that those processes are a part of your journey. It's a part of the freaking formula process. It's part of the formula. You can't get there without some process, right? How do you become obedient? You go through a process of being disobedient till you get to a place where you say, okay, listen, God, not my will, but your will be done. People don't wake up and say, oh, I'm just going to be obedient. No, most people who find themselves in a place of obedience have been disobedient. They were disobedient in the past and have determined, oh, listen, I don't want to go through the extra stuff that comes with being disobedient. So what I'm about to do over here, as for me and my house, we finna do what God say. That's what we finna do. Now, we may not do it the way you do it. We may not do it the way religion says do it, but we're going to do what God says do. And the truth of the matter is, God don't move like religion most of the time. Jesus didn't move like the scribes and the Pharisees. He didn't. In fact, they said he was a heretic. They said that he wasn't of God. See, that's why y'all got to be careful about counting out because of your judgments of what is God and what ain't God. Y'all better stop that. Listen, for what? What do you get out of that? Why spend your energy doing that? What is it in you that makes you feel like you got to tell other people how they have to be or how they need to do this or how they need to what is it in you? Because I'm telling y'all, we got to start looking at us. What does it say about me to me? When I started doing that, I started realizing that I was trying to put a lot of stuff on people that God didn't put on them. Who did that? I think the disciples tried to do that with the Gentiles when they said, oh, well, you got to get circumcised. And wait a minute. Y'all circumcised and y'all still can't keep the law. So what is this circumcision going to do? What is this going to do? Why do they have to do that? Listen, right, Angel. They said he was demonic. That's not God. That's of Baal. I'm telling you. So why would you think you would be any different? Why do you think that God will put you in a place where you don't experience that? I'm telling you, I'm taking my journey and I don't care who likes it, don't like it, believe it, don't believe it. It's irrelevant for me because I know what God has said to me about my mission. See, I'm here for the people that God has called me to. I'm not here to satisfy church people. If the message blesses you, praise God. But I know my call is not to church folk because most church folk don't want truth. They want to believe a lie. They want to live a lie. I'm just saying, not all, but most. See, the truth challenges you to look at you in a different way. The truth challenges you to allow the word to penetrate your heart, to circumcise your heart, to make you realize maybe you don't know it all. Maybe you ain't got it all figured out. Maybe you've exegeted the word and missed the message. Maybe you've been so focused on the scholarship that you've missed the discipleship. God is both logic or mind and heart. He's both of those. And when we miss that, we don't allow the fullness of what God has created us for to manifest in our lives. Aren't you tired of not seeing change? Aren't you tired of being stuck a merry-go-round, going round and around and round and around, but not getting anything different? Then why would you think that you can get something different doing the same thing you've always done? You can't. It requires another level of obedience, a real obedience, an obedience that requires you to move because God said move, not because man said move. but because the Spirit of God said move. 2023 is a year manifested miracles for those who will believe and obey at all costs. So listen, I'm sowing. I ain't telling y'all what to do, but I'm sowing a manifested miracle seed. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Seed time and harvest is real. Sowing and reaping is real. It's real. So I'm sowing a manifested miracle seed, and I'm going to sow it. Listen, I'm just telling you where I'm sowing it. I got to sow it somewhere, but you can sow if you choose to. If you hear God say that, don't sow because I said it. Sow because you felt an unction in your spirit. But I'm sowing a manifested miracle seed because guess what? I need God to perform a miracle in my life. I need miracle after miracle after miracle. He's already performed miracles, but I want more, God. I want more of what you have for me, God. I want more of what you've promised me. God, I don't want to stay stuck. And anytime you're stuck, especially if you're stuck financially, baby, sow a seed to get out of that. But don't sow a seed just anywhere, because all ground ain't equal. All ground is not created equal. Sow where you've seen what you desire manifest. If you desire healing, if you desire miracles, whatever you desire, sow where you see that. So don't tell nobody, but I'm finna sow into my daddy this miracle seed because he's the root of me. He's the root of me. You all don't miss what God is doing in this season. Do not miss it. If you feel compelled to sow, go to Cash App $DRV Walters, Cash App $DRV Walters, or PayPal.me/DRV Walters, and put manifested miracle. Put that in the, let God know, hey, I'm putting an assignment on this seed. I'm not just sowing the seed for no reason. I got an assignment on this seed. So whatever God tells you to sow, be obedient. Listen to the Spirit and let God lead you in what you do. Know this, know that God is not a man that he should lie. Everything that he promised you, he wants to do it. He desires to do it. It is his great pleasure to do it. He's waiting for the opportunity to do it. Give him the opportunity. Give him the opportunity to do that for you, for your life, so that your purpose and your destiny can be fulfilled. That's all I got. I'm done. I'm done. Obey God. Period. Listen, if you're unclear about your vision for 23 or God's vision for you, because I firmly believe that we co-create with God his vision for our lives, for that year, for our lives, forever, how long we're looking out, right? If you're unclear, join us at the 2023 vision vision retreat. We are going to be in Nashville, Tennessee, December 26th through the 30th. If you want to do our vision strategy session, that's open to everyone. You can do this retreat physically or online. You can do the vision strategy session physically or online. Physically, it's $100 for that day, the vision day, which is open to anyone, and $75 online. For the retreat, the 26th through the 30th, that's 5 days, 4 nights. That's $380. For the online portion, it's $200. You all don't miss this opportunity to hear from God about what it is that he's saying concerning your life. Literally in October, I created a vision board. Listen, I believe in seeking God for what to do when it comes to creating a vision. We're not just creating vision boards. I believe in listening to God and obeying. I believe that God has shown me how to manifest those things that we desire miraculously by using his word. The power of his word is so amazing. And yet in the church, we only use about this much of it. We only use about this much. We recite it. We know it. But our belief in it, we use about this much. There's so much more that God wants to do and manifest in your life, right? So sign up, be there. God is showing us how to do this systematically. There's a system. God is a God of systems. God is a God of order. God is a God of design and specific design and instruction. Okay. So look, y'all, I pray that this word has blessed you. I pray that you've gotten something out of it. I pray that you've been encouraged. And most importantly, I pray that it has provoked you to a level of obedience that makes you uncomfortable. Listen, I love you guys to life and life more abundant. Have an amazing, incredible, and epic day. You guys be blessed. Mwah.